It's late season, we're in North Dakota. We're set up on a field edge here. These deer are really stressed out and coming out to these alfalfa fields and digging for alfalfa. The snow is really deep, waist deep when you get in the woods. It's really cold and it's really windy, so I guess we'll see what happens. We know of a really good buck in the area. We saw him on our trail cameras, so we're hoping to get a crack at him if we can. Stick with us, it could be a good night.
Now, as TJ said, the snow is deep and it's cold. How cold? Well, let's just say that with the wind chill factored in, the temperature is well below zero. The Minnesota native knows that the conditions are going to make it real tough to stay warm for the next couple hours. But he also knows that the conditions are exactly what's needed to get whitetails up and on their feet earlier than normal.
Well, I've added about 20 layers. I don't have any stocking hats left. I don't have any more face masks, no more gloves, nothing. It's freezing out here. We're crazy. My eyelids are freezing together.
But the more brutal it gets, the more the deer action picks up. First, a herd of antlerless deer walk by on their way to the alfalfa field. They're followed just a few minutes later by a procession of smaller bucks. With temperatures continuing to drop over the next hour, deer activity only increases. And then, as daylight is slipping away, this monster whitetail eases out of the timber. Unlike the other deer that have already walked by TJ's stand site, however, it's apparent from the beginning that the big buck is suspicious and blitzy. One look at this beautiful whitetail makes it very clear why TJ was so willing to endure the brutal weather conditions. Unfortunately, when the trophy animal finally does drop its head to feed, he's not only at a bad angle, he's also directly behind a big limb.
We had him at 20 yards, but we just couldn't get a shot where the camera had him. We didn't spook them, they didn't smell us, so hopefully he comes back in. These deer are stressed. They got deep, deep snow, cold weather, and they're pounding the food plot here behind us, so we're gonna sit back and see what happens. Hopefully we get a second chance. He's a beauty, but we'll see what happens.
But as so often is the case with mature whitetails, TJ doesn't get a second chance on this day. And even though he continues to hunt the spot off and on over the next several days, he never sees the buck again.
Yeah, I've been on my share of late season archery hunts, so I can sympathize with our buddy TJ. It was cold there in North Dakota, bitterly cold, well below zero. And how about that whitetail he had in front of him? You know, he had them right there within bow range, just couldn't close the deal.